Tonight's the night. It's gonna happen. Again. Or wait a minute. It already happened. And we have to go back and see it. So let's go sit on the couch and look back at these great moments.
Can I come in and talk?
You already are inside.
Oh yeah, you're right. To the red couch!
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for today. This one I'm going to be starting off with a brand new series. We're going to be reviewing Dexter Original Sin. You guys knew that, of course, I was going to be starting up reviews for this series as it releases. We have 10 episodes of Dexter Original Sin, starting with episode 1, and we're here to talk about it. We're here to break it down. We're going to be doing weekly reviews for this show. I was very, very curious to see how this show is going to pan out, and I can say that after watching the first episode, this is damn good, man. This is damn good. So, obviously, this is a prequel series to Dexter, of course, but it also does minorly pick up after the events of New Blood at the very end, which, of course, where Dexter was killed. And, of course, we get to see him kind of have his life flash before his eyes, I guess is the best way I'd put it. Now, obviously, with doing a prequel series, you never really know what you're going to get, obviously. You know, most prequel series, I'm just going to say it, they're not usually good. They usually fail in some kind of way or shape or form, and though there is still time for this to, obviously, switch up and maybe not be so good, I was very sold on this right away. This right away hooked me right away. We are basically now seeing the recreation of some of the flashbacks that we were seeing in the OG seasons of Dexter, elaborated on, given more context, and I just can't believe how flawless it was, honestly. Now, obviously, when I heard about this show at first, I was like, this is a prequel series, recastings, I don't know, you never know with that type of stuff. I can already say, within the first, 10 minutes, I think, I was sold on basically every actor. The Dexter actor is fan-fucking-tastic. He is awesome. He literally feels like Michael C. Hall. Maybe it's because Michael C. Hall is the one doing the inner monologue still, which is a great touch in this show. But the actor did a fantastic job. He did a great job playing a young Dexter. Same with Deb. Deb, same, foul-mouthed shit that we see like usual. She has the same mannerisms as her. Deb, they got spot on. Harry, his father, they just nailed. I mean, he feels exactly the same to me. He is, perfection. Got the same, uneasiness about him, you know what I'm saying? But the same level of just charisma to him. Those three in particular were just perfectly well cast. And then so many great ones too, Masuka, Batista, so many great castings. I mean, they are nailing every single one of these, if you ask me. And also adding a few other ones too, like a few other agents around and a few other, characters here and there. So they're adding in a few new ones as well too, which, makes you wonder why they're not here in the current day, of course, but that's what this show is all about. So yeah, the cast is fantastic. I loved everything about the cast in this. But now let's break down the story of this first episode, because they did a lot. The first, 2-3 minutes or so picks up after the events of New Blood, of course, where he was killed. And you see him getting wheeled in the back of the ambulance. You see him, getting tended to and stuff, which, this is kind of a cool thing, because you're seeing him return for the very first time in years. Getting to see Michael C. Hall, just step right back into that role. I mean, I know that he wasn't really acting this episode besides the monologues, but he really, it looked like the same scene from the end of season 1 of New Blood. I mean, it literally looked the exact same. So I was pretty blown away by that. And we get to then see, of course, like they've mentioned throughout the advertising, his life flashes before his eyes. And then we get to see him younger, doing his thing. We see kind of him going to school and stuff. We see him and Masuka meeting up, which that's a cool piece of lore as well, that they knew each other back then when they were going to school and stuff. That's friggin' awesome. And Well, basically, the story of this episode is we see that Deb is not really all that close with Dexter, which obviously in the main series that definitely changes. But very accurate, because in the main show they also always did flashbacks where Deb and Dexter weren't all that close. And they did a huge piece of lore this episode. We found out that Harry actually had a son pre-existing to him having Dexter and adopting Dexter. And I found that so insane because his son drowned and died, right? So now here's Deb without a brother, and then next thing you know, Dexter comes along, he's adopted by Harry, and all of a sudden Deb has to just love Dexter and forget about her, other brother. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Deb never really got used to Dexter when they were growing up because it felt like Dexter was there to replace her brother. The fact that Harry had a son this entire time was mind-boggling to me. I was like, holy shit. So, as if that wasn't crazy enough, we still don't get any context on the mother yet. We still haven't had any context there to, Harry's wife, of course. But, we don't see that fully. But I'll say one thing. I really enjoyed seeing the back and forth between Deb and Dexter. You get a scene where they go to this party in this one, and she has too much to drink and stuff. Dexter kind of catches on to this. He catches on that this guy is going to try to basically have sex with her while she's passed out drunk. And Dexter grabs this guy, chucks him down the fucking stairs, and he beats the absolute shit out of him. He's still got the moves like he did in the main show. He can kick anybody's ass. And he looks at the knife and he looks tempted, right? But he doesn't do it. But he explains to his father that this is what he wanted to do. This is what he wanted to happen. He wanted to kill that guy in front of everybody, but that wouldn't have made a difference, and that would have made things really bad. So he brings Deb back home. He covers for her. Harry's not stupid, though. He knows she was wasted the whole time. And then you get a scene where you got Harry and Dexter hunting, which I thought was awesome. You got them hunting, of course. And then he has his heart attack, which we've seen before. And now we get to see him in the hospital, of course, with the nurse that, of course, was, screwing him over and, giving him shit that he shouldn't have been given. And Dexter catches on to this right away. And they recreate so many amazing flashbacks that we already pre-existed, saw in the show with this actor, which I thought was so good. And I love it, too, because this is basically giving us Dexter's first kill. This is giving us Dexter's first big moment where he kills somebody. And he kills the nurse, which I thought was insane. And they have the old music come back. You've got bro saying tonight's the night as he's getting the shrink wrap ready and shit. I mean, it was just flawlessly executed. It was flawlessly done. And we see him kill this nurse, and they literally do everything. They recreate the scene where Harry goes home, and you got Deb wheeling him around in the wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally did everything verbatim. It was so good. These actors absolutely knocked it out of the park. And then at the end of the episode, of course, we get to see him and Harry kind of have a conversation. It's like, okay, well, where'd you dump off the body? And it's like, well, in the river and stuff. They ate, crocodiles ate all the evidence. We'll be good and stuff. And obviously we know that, Harry killed himself. If you haven't watched the main show, you know that Harry killed himself. So obviously we know that, it's reached a point where he's not really proud of his son fully. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of just asking him, like, how'd you do it, And then, well, on top of all that, we get to see Harry join the team, Batista and, the rest of them, Deb and, all them, and become this investigator, which I thought was fantastic at the end of the episode, which I thought was really cool. He starts to look more like his Dexter self at the end of the episode, which I thought was very, very interesting. But yeah, no, this is a banger first episode. This is a banger episode. I absolutely loved what they did. The acting is phenomenal. It's exactly what it would look like in 1991. It's flawless. It's an absolute flawless first episode. I loved how they did it. And on top of everything else, this show serves as a prequel and setting up a sequel, which is really cool. Setting up the continuation of New Blood. So I'm blown away by this. I really am. I am so excited to be covering this on the channel, guys. Of course, this is a prequel content show, so we will be discussing this show every week, of course. And, I'm very excited because we're also going back and we're covering the old seasons of Dexter on the channel as well, too, if you haven't seen, of course. However, I can't believe after, 3 years, we finally see a continuation of Dexter. I mean, that's just crazy to me. So, I am very, very happy with this first episode. I'm going to give this one a perfect 10 out of 10. Loved everything about it. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Are you excited for this show? Are you going to be checking out the episodes weekly? Because we're going to be doing reviews for this on the channel. So, of course, follow along if you're interested, of course. But, yeah, there you go, guys. That's Dexter Original Sin. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you guys thought about it, and are you excited for what's to come of this series? And, yeah, what other cameo characters do you think we'll get? Do you think we'll get Dokes, maybe? Maybe we'll get Dokes? I don't know. Anyway, post comments down below if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this. Make sure to click to subscribe and you don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click to subscribe so you don't miss any other videos for Dexter. Be sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos for Dexter. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.